Hey, what's up, two-wheel trends family? Today, we're diving deep into a ride that's been catching a lot of attention lately at the 2025 Honda Shadow Phantom. Whether you're a fan of cruisers or just someone who appreciates solid craftsmanship, this one's bound to get your gears turning. Honda's Shadow series has always been a favorite for many riders, but with the 2025 Phantom, they've really upped the ante. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. So, grab your helmet, kick back, and let's talk about everything this bike has to offer. From the sleek design to the powerful engine under the hood, the Shadow Phantom has a lot going for it this year. We'll be breaking down every detail of this bike, so whether you're considering making this your next ride or just want to know what's new, you're in the right place. Starting with the front end of the Honda Shadow Phantom, it's clear this bike has a look that demands attention. The front of the bike retains its signature cruiser stance but with a modern twist. You've got a nice low-slung profile that immediately sets the tone. The round headlamp is LED, giving it a much brighter and cleaner look than previous models. It's got that classic cruiser appeal, but with enough tech to feel up-to-date for 2025. Honda didn't go overboard with flashy chrome here, opting instead for a more blacked-out, stealthy finish. That's one of the things that sets the Phantom apart from other bikes in the cruiser category. It's sleek and refined without being too in your face. The fork tubes are coated in black, blending seamlessly into the design. You'll also notice the slightly wider front tire, which not only improves the stance but adds to that beefy, aggressive look. It's subtle, but those little tweaks really give the front of the bike an edge as you move your eyes upward. The mini-ape handlebars sit comfortably high, adding to the old-school feel but keeping ergonomics in mind. They give the rider a commanding stance without feeling too stretched out. Honda found a great balance between style and functionality here. Now, moving to the side profile, this is where the Shadow Phantom's personality really shines. The low, stretched chassis gives it that classic cruiser silhouette, but there's a compact, purposeful look to it as well. The fuel tank is teardrop-shaped, keeping that traditional cruiser vibe, but again, there's a modern touch with the matte and gloss black finish. Honda's kept the badging subtly, just a small Honda logo and Phantom branding that blends into the overall aesthetic. The frame is mostly hidden, giving the bike a clean, minimalistic look. That's a big deal because so many cruisers can end up looking a little cluttered, especially with the engine and pipes exposed. Honda's design team really nailed it here by keeping everything tucked in nicely without taking away from that raw cruiser appeal. The side-mounted exhaust is also blacked out, contributing to the Phantom's overall stealthy vibe. The seat is another feature that stands out. It's a low, solo-style saddle that's perfect for the cruiser look. It's positioned low enough to keep your center of gravity down, which not only looks cool but gives you a really comfortable riding position. The bike is designed to keep you in that relaxed, laid-back position typical of cruisers, but it doesn't compromise on comfort or control. And if you're thinking about adding a passenger, there's an optional rear seat you can attach from the rear. The 2025 Honda Shadow Phantom keeps it clean and simple. The fender is cut tight, giving the bike a lean look from behind. You'll notice the rear light is integrated smoothly into the design, with LED taillights that give off a crisp, clear signal. It's a far cry from some of the clunky, oversized lights you see on other cruisers. The license plate is side-mounted, keeping the back end tidy and not disrupting the overall flow of the bike's lines. The rear suspension is handled by dual shocks with adjustable preload, giving you some flexibility depending on your load and the type of riding you're doing. The back tire is slightly chunkier, which complements the front tire's wider stance, giving the bike a balanced look from both the front and back. It's small details like this that make the Phantom not just another cruiser, but a well-thought-out machine. Now, let's get to what's under the hood, or more specifically, what's sitting between your legs when you're riding this beast of the engine. The 2025 Honda Shadow Phantom comes equipped with a 745cc, liquid-cooled, V-twin engine. It's the same engine configuration we've seen on previous models, but with a few tweaks to improve efficiency and performance. Honda's kept it simple and reliable, which is exactly what you want in a cruiser. One of the things riders have always loved about the Shadow series is the smooth power delivery, and the 2025 Phantom doesn't disappoint. The engine provides plenty of low-end torque, which is perfect for city riding and cruising down highways alike. You've got enough power to feel confident on the open road, but it's not so over the top that you feel like you're fighting the bike. The V-twin's power is usable and predictable, which is one of the reasons the Shadow has always been a favorite for beginner and intermediate riders. Honda's also done a great job of refining the fuel injection system on this bike. You get smooth throttle response and reliable starts, even in colder conditions. No more fiddling with the choke like the old carbureted models. Just turn the key, hit the start button, and you're off. Another point worth mentioning is the exhaust note. Honda's tuned the Phantom's exhaust to give you that classic V-twin rumble without being obnoxiously loud. It's got a nice depth growl to it, especially at lower RPMs, but it doesn't scream for attention. It's just enough to let people know you're on a cruiser, but without rattling windows or annoying your neighbors every time you fire it up. When it comes to performance, the 2025 Shadow Phantom is built for smooth, relaxed cruising. It's not a sport bike, so you're not going to be scrapping pegs around every corner, but that's not what it's made for. What it does exceptionally well is give you a comfortable, enjoyable ride with just enough power to make things interesting. The suspension setup is simple but effective. Up front, you've got conventional telescopic forks, which handle bumps and potholes with ease. The dual rear shocks, as mentioned earlier, are preload adjustable, so you can tweak them based on your riding preferences. The ride is firm enough to give you good feedback from the road, but not so stiff that it becomes uncomfortable on longer rides. It's a great balance, and the low center of gravity helps you feel planted and in control at all times. Braking is handled by a single disc up front and a drum brake in the rear. It's not the most high-tech setup, but it's more than adequate for the type of riding the Phantom is built for. The brakes are responsive without being overly aggressive, which fits the bike's relaxed cruising nature. In terms of handling, the bike's relatively light for a cruiser, weighing in at around 550 pounds. That means it's nimble enough for city riding and lane splitting but still feels solid and stable at highway speeds. The low seat height and wide handlebars give you excellent leverage when maneuvering, whether you're weaving through traffic or taking a leisurely ride through the countryside. One area where Honda has really stepped up their game is in fuel efficiency. With the improved fuel injection system, the Phantom gets impressive mileage for a cruiser. You're looking at around 50 miles per gallon, give or take, depending on your riding style. That means you can ride longer between fill-ups, which is always a plus if you're planning any weekend trips or long-distance cruising. So, let's talk about price, because that's a big part of any buying decision. The 2025 Honda Shadow Phantom comes in at a very competitive price point. You're looking at around $8,500 for the base model, which is a steal considering the build quality, the features, and the Honda reliability you're getting. For a cruiser with this level of refinement, that's pretty hard to beat. Now, of course, there are a few optional accessories and upgrades you can add, like a passenger seat, luggage racks, and other customization options. But even with those added in, you're still looking at a very affordable ride. And when you compare it to some of the other bikes in this class, the Phantom offers a lot of bang for your buck. To wrap it up, the 2025 Honda Shadow Phantom is a bike that really delivers on all fronts. It's got a classic, timeless design that's been modernized just enough to keep things fresh. The engine provides smooth, reliable power, and the overall ride quality is exactly what you'd expect from Honda. A comfortable, controlled, and just plain fun. Whether you're a seasoned rider or someone new to cruisers, the Phantom is definitely worth checking out. So, if you're in the market for a cruiser that offers a great balance of style, performance, and value, the 2025 Honda Shadow Phantom might just be the perfect fit. Thanks for riding with us here on Two Wheel Trends. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more reviews, tips, and everything motorcycle related. Ride safe, and we'll catch you